Good evening, everyone. My name is Haynisha Malone, and I am the Vice President of the West Garfield Park Youth Council. And we believe that we are the solution to the issues in our community. Our theme is Nothing With Us Without Us. The West Garfield Park Youth Council is sponsored by Fathers Who Care, which is a nonprofit organization located on the west side of Chicago within the West Garfield Park community. Again, everyone, my name is Haynisha Malone, and I am the Vice President of the West Garfield Park Youth Council. The West Garfield Park Youth Council is comprised of young people within our community whose focus and concern is youth leadership and a voice within the community to reduce senseless violence and illegal substance use. We invite people from all over, especially young people, to come in and see what we are all about. Our show will be scheduled every Thursday at 7 p.m. Again, that is every Thursday at 7 p.m. We would like to encourage calls from our viewers watching to leave your questions and comments at 312-738-1060. Again, that number is 312-738-1060. Our show can also be viewed online at www.cantv.org/live. Again, that website is www.cantv.org/live. Well, everyone, I would love to introduce my guest for today. This is William Martinez, and he is a police officer in the 15th District. If you would like to introduce yourself for a second.
Appreciate it. My name is William Martinez. I am the 15th District Youth Liaison Officer. So everything that happens with youth in the 15th District, I try to be a part of.
That's amazing. So thank you, Officer William Martinez, for being a guest on tonight's show. Again, everyone, my name is Haynisha Malone, and I am the Vice President of the West Garfield Park Youth Council. You are watching a live interactive call-in television program brought to you by CanTV 21. During the next 25 minutes, we are going to discuss bridging the intergenerational gap between young people and law enforcement. We invite our viewers watching to call in with your questions and comments at 312-738-1060. Again, that number is 312-738-1060. Our phone lines are now open. So today's topic again is bridging the intergenerational gap between young people and law enforcement. And now, Officer Martinez, I have a few questions for you. So who is William Martinez and what motivates you?
So I am actually a young person at heart. Because I was raised by a single mother, so I was always looking to fit in and looking to belong. So one of my key things were finding mentors, coaches. I played a lot of sports in order to kind of like give me the mentoring that I needed for being with a single mother. So that just kind of resonates with me to where I'm always wanting to help and be a part of developing our young people. So that's kind of who I am. I'm still young at heart, even though I look old.
You don't look that old.
But just trying to engage the youth and meet them where they are. So that's like kind of my big thing. And I'm a family man. Family matters, and it just doesn't have to be blood, because family is who are there for you when you need them. So exactly. I have a lot of family members.
Yeah, that's amazing. So what motivates you?
To be honest, to make a difference, to help. Like I've always liked to be the one to help people out of hard situations, and I think a lot of police officers that I know, they join the force in order to help people, because to be in stressful situations over and over every day, it's kind of hard to deal with. So you have to be a special individual. So just being there to step up and be there for a person when it's the worst time of their life. So
that's amazing. So this evening we are here to discuss how we can challenge more young people to become more active in community organizing and civic engagement via bridging the intergenerational gaps and reducing senseless violence, underage drinking, and substance abuse on the west side of Chicago. What were you doing prior to becoming a police officer?
Prior, I actually worked for Stateville Penitentiary. For 2 years before becoming a Chicago police officer. I've been a Chicago police officer for 10 years now. So prior to that, it was Statesville for 2 years, and prior to that, I graduated from Wilbur Wright College with my degree. So it was school, Stateville Penitentiary, and then the Chicago Police.
So in those 10 years, like, how much change, like, did you see since you were here in, like, 2013? Like, I feel like it was just yesterday. I remember those years. So, like, 2013 to 2023, like, what's the difference from, like, then and now that you can, like, tell the difference of?
I think that there is a high emphasis on community policing now, to where the police are actually bridging the gap between resources and the community. So I think that the police stepping up and taking that role of putting everyone in the room to come up with a solution now. I think that was the biggest change, and of course body cameras. So now everything is being recorded, and it helps on both sides. If an officer happened to do something wrong, it emphasizes it, and then if an individual did something wrong, it shows everything that actually happened real time. So we appreciate those.
Yeah, me too. So how can we as community stakeholders bridge the gaps between the police and the community?
The biggest thing is invite us out. Invite the police out and give them the space to answer the hard questions. We don't want the easy questions. I like being asked all the difficult questions, and as long as you have an understanding and you're willing to meet us halfway to listen, and you don't have to take it as it, but just be open-minded to hear both sides, and then you come up with your own conclusion. That's what our job is.
Why don't you think people try to like bring the police out, or they don't feel like comfortable trying to like call the police out, or if people don't even know that they can like call the police out?
So I think it's because of a lot of social media, because if an officer does something wrong, it's magnified on social media, everybody sees it, and then because of how social media is, you feel like you were there and you were a part of it. So if it's someone else's video that you know, for some reason we take that as ourselves, and now it was us that it happened to, and we take that mentality, and it's in our heads. So kind of I would say the social media aspect of it, that's one of the key things.
I agree, because like I feel like sometimes I see things happening on social media to people like bad police officers, and like I feel for them, and it's like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened to them. And then it's like as I go around, I think this can happen to me at any time, and I feel like when I see officers like that or something like that, or it's like I watch the interaction that police officers have with other people, and it's like, oh, like he one of those or she one of those or something like that. So it's just like it makes you want to like stay away from police officers in a sense, because like, okay, I don't want this to happen to me, so the best thing for me to do is just like try to stay away, only engage with them when I have to. So for you to say like, oh, like we want you to call us out, I feel like people won't do that because of what you said, because of social media, because they feel like, oh, like police officers are like so on and so forth. They just have their own like social media has its own agenda of what the police is, and then people take that and they run with it, and they don't try to see what the police is about for themselves, and that creates a gap because they don't really it gets to the point where like social media is thinking for them, and they don't have to think or like do anything for themselves, because like it's just easier to listen to other people instead of having to like think on your own. It's like, oh, this looks bad, I'm not gonna promote it and stuff like that. And then they just go on and be like, okay, well, I'm just not gonna follow that, stuff like that.
But that's actually human nature when it comes to fight or flight. So it's human reaction. So I understand that, but it's more of just giving it a chance, inviting them, and asking the officers the hard question. You could even show me the video. We can watch it together, and then we can break it down step by step, and I can tell you what was done correctly, properly, and then what was done improperly, so we can work on it together, because no one is perfect, and everything can be viewed. There's always three sides to a story. Your side, my side, and then the real side.
Exactly.
Because we always tend to like
switch it up.
Yeah, and that we just want to have an open dialogue. So a lot of times when I'm invited out, a lot of kids would bring up, incidents that happen, and then I say, okay, well, this is what I saw, and they'll tell me what they saw, and then I'm like, okay, well, I gave you our side, so now you come up with your own conclusion. I don't push my agenda or what I think on them, but I give them my side. Now it's up to you to critically think and come up with the solution yourself, because if a lot of our young people now are always told, from teachers, you're told what you're supposed to do. From parents, you're told what you're supposed to do. So when you interact with me as a police officer, I don't like telling you. I don't like being the one to tell you, hey, don't do that. I want to give you the guidance and the right direction without having to tell you. You guys are going to become adults, so I want to put you in the right path to make your own decisions and make the right decision.
Right. So tell our audience, why are you so passionate about being an officer for the city of Chicago?
Because growing up, I always liked to help people. Still, now my phone gets a lot of phone calls from family members with problems they have or instances that come up in their life, so they always call me. So I always like to help people and kind of bridge the gap with what's right and what's wrong and give an honest opinion, because a lot of times people make phone calls to get someone to side with them. I'm very open, and I like to give them the real story, and I'll give them my example, and then they can either take it or they don't, but at least they heard both sides to make their own decision.
Exactly. Because when you hear two sides, it gives you a chance to like you said with the kid, like telling them and then letting them like figure out like the solution and stuff like that. It gives them a chance to say, oh well, I don't know if I agree with things like that, and it helps them build character and like their morals and then what they value and stuff like that. Because like, oh, if he's telling me this and I don't feel, and like when he told me that I felt the way and like I don't really agree with what he's saying, then it's like, okay, I can differentiate what I do and don't like, what I value and what I don't, and what I will stand up for. And then you giving them that opportunity to talk and like speak for themselves and be able to have a voice, that makes them actually gain great communication skills, because like they won't like shut down. And like when they having like when it's like people who's like not like them, don't have the same like mindset as them, they're able to say, oh well, I see why you think like that, I've met somebody like that, and blah 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 blah, and they could just go off it like that instead of being judgmental and feeling like, oh, you don't think how I think, and they like judge it. So I feel like what you're doing with the young people, I feel like that's amazing too.
I appreciate that.
So what are the issues and concerns that are negatively impacting our community, and what can we do about them?
So we do a lot of youth groups, and what I've noticed is a lot of our young people have been expressing a desire to have more structure, and that's within schools, that's even within, they said within the policing, that there's no structure. There's not like a set, if somebody did something wrong, some people get no consequences and some people get harsh consequences. So for them, they'd rather have some sort of structure to move forward with it. Within the school, sometimes they said that there was instances that happened and the kid never got consequences for pushing a kid or anything like. So now they had anxiety and they feel some type of way because they're in that environment, and there was no consequences and there's no structure set up to where if you did something wrong, what are the next steps? So I feel that the kids are always looking for structure and like consistency. Like if you're an organization and you're supposed to be open on Tuesday at this time, be there Tuesday at that time no matter what. Because if one of our young people go to open that door and it's shut, once you're closed out, you feel like you're not accepted there, period. And it's hard to rebuild your that up again. Exactly.
I actually talked to somebody about this, about how they found out how it is to not have, they're used to structure, and then they were in a position where it was no structure. And sometimes with no structure it's more freedom, but at the same time it's not, you don't learn the same lessons when it's no structure, because when you have structure you gain a sense of discipline, because it's like, okay, I know that I'm not supposed to do that, and I know that at this time I need to be here, at that time I can be there, and stuff like that. Like, it's just a balance in your life that you can have. But then when there's no structure, it's like I have all this free time, I don't know what to do, I can go do this. Like, it's just too many it's just too many things to do. And then with the negative things going on in the community, it's not rare for the youth to go out and try to find bad things to do, or to just go out there and see this stuff, because it's just so common in the community to just see like drug dealings going on and stuff like that. So like when they see that, it's like if they have nothing else to do and there's no structure within anything, and they don't gain that discipline and they just free to do whatever, they will be more likely to go and like pursue things like that, and that will like continue the cycle. So I feel like more resources and things like that would be better. So speaking of resources, do you have any like resources and like programs for the youth and things like that?
So the Chicago Police Department citywide actually has, I don't have them all memorized, so I have in front of me. Every district has a youth district advisory committee, which is like a student council for that certain district that takes the advice of the youth. The youth will go out and figure out what programs are for the youth, what programs do the youth need, and what programs that they would like to have in there to engage more with the youth. So if there was like no girl volleyball, like we spoke about earlier, if there's no girl volleyball, I get our youth district advisory committee in the room with our park district, and then they set up an all-girls volleyball day, not just basketball. So a lot of my girls are like, everything's basketball. If I don't like basketball, then that limits me. So we want to bring as many opportunities to our youth to where they can fill up a schedule. Our goal is to have a calendar on your wall, and every day there's a different activity that you like. Something that you wanted to be a part of or even wanted to try, it might not be something you're totally into, but you've always wanted to try it. So let's fill up that calendar and let's get you out to different activities that can help you develop yourself. So every district has a Youth District Advisor Committee. Every district has an Explore program, Police Explorers, which is like a police version of Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts with law enforcement curriculum. Every district has youth forums that we can do. If there's something that the youth want us to engage with, we definitely can set it up. If there was any anxiety, any cyberbullying, any kind of programs we can set up. And then every district has Officer Friendly. We come out to the schools, DARE, drug abuse resistance education, GREAT, gang resistance and training, peer jury. And then in the 15th district, these are some of the programs that we provide, is every Tuesday, Hip Hop Tuesday. It's a mentoring, tutoring program from 3:30 to 7 o'clock every day. The kids come in with their homework. We grade their homework. If they need help in something after they're done, they get access to video games, board games, painting, crafts. Meridian Health actually sponsored us, gave us $10,000. So we have 3 PS5s, 3 Xbox Series X's to the new games. We have 2K. We get the new stuff so the kids understand, the young people, that if you work hard, you get to play hard. So if they ask for anything, we go out of our way to get it for them because they're working hard. You know, they're putting in the work, so we want to support them. And then we have Black History Essay Contest every February, sponsored by Uniball. It's like $300 prizes for grammar school, and there's a high school version. So if you find someone in your history that you'd like to highlight, it's usually like a historic person and a family member that did something similar to that to build it up. And then Uniball sponsors that. And then we do a Thanksgiving dinner, all the youth programs together. And then for Christmas, we do a big toy drive. We give out like 1,000 toys at the police station, but due to our the police stations being a little overcrowded right now, we are partnering with Assumption Church on December 6th from 5:30 to 7:30. We'll give out 1,000 toys. The flyer will be on our social media. If anyone is looking for toys, please come out. We sponsor an Austin's Got Talent every year for our young people. It's a talent show highlighted by DJ Phantom, Zach Boog, Leon Rogers. They all come out to support our West Side kids, and we provide first place prize is usually like $1,000. So we just give different experiences for our young people. And one of the last two, and I'll stop, is we do an Explorer camping trip. We do them on we take 17 youth out of the city for a weekend. So it's usually 4th of July weekend, Memorial Day weekend, Labor Day weekend, the most violent weekends for youth in the city. We take those 17 youth and we drive out to Sublette, Illinois, and we have a fun-filled weekend of camping, s'mores, giving different experiences to our youth that they earn. So they'll give, in order to make the camping trip, you have to support the churches, doing community service in our neighborhoods to help uplift, to show that the youth do care about our community, and show them that if you work hard in the community, then you get rewarded to these different events. Right. And our final one is Westside Sports. Every district, 10th District, 11th District, 15th District, 25th District, and we just started Southside Sports in Inglewood. 3rd grade, 4th grade is one division, 5th and 6th, and 7th and 8th. Our young people come out every Tuesdays and Thursdays are practice days, and then game days are on Saturdays. So we play each other and we start building team building, characteristic building, and to start investing in our young people to come out. And it starts with sports, but there's also mentoring involved in the Westside Sports.
That's amazing. So, and they found out about this through your social medias?
Yes, all our social medias have it. If not, you can call any of your districts. If you just Google 15th District, any of the districts that you Google it, get the number, call it, and ask to speak to the community policing office and tell them what you're interested in. We have senior programs, we have domestic violence programs. I'm just the youth officer, so I do everything youth, but we have programs for anything you can think of. We're invested in, and we're willing to help you and get you with the right resources.
And what is the youth, like what age rank is that?
So our youth, well, my youth is a little younger, but it's from like six years old all the way to 24 years old, our youth. So there's different programs for every age group, so we'd love to have you out.
That's good. So what is the state of the West Side of Chicago right now?
I think it's trending upwards. We have a lot of new buildings being built in the West Side. There's a lot of programs there to help our community grow. There's all new gyms being built, so I think that the West Side is actually on the up and coming, and everyone's trying to move in, and so it's the place
I'm
to be.
excited for that, yeah. So why should we motivate more young people to become police officers and advocate for social change in their communities?
So my biggest thing is, if you feel that the police were doing anything wrong or did anything wrong to you, right? How do you change that? Do you fight on that when the incident happens, or do you become the police and police the way that you feel the police should do? That was the biggest thing. When I work as a police officer, every time I pull someone over, it's like that was my mother, that was my grandmother. I police the way that I would want to be treated and that my mother or family members would be. So if you want to see change, the biggest way to impact it is to join us and implement the change that you think there should be.
So are there any programs that can help our community get a better understanding of what is happening in the 15th district?
We have plenty of. There's a DAC committee, which it's open to all our community members 16 and older. If there's a certain program that you want to be involved with, seniors, domestic violence, youth, you call, you get a part of it, you'll know when the meetings are, and you're welcome to come out and voice your opinions, what you want in our community, in our district, and in our communities, and it starts to be addressed. And beat meetings is a good time to come out and voice your opinion of what you think that we need to implement as the police.
And how can they
all
call?
All they have to do is, if you ever just Google your district, just Google whatever. If you live in the 15th district, 20th district,
so
any
all
district,
the districts do this?
Yes.
Okay.
All the districts have it, and you're free. You call and you ask for whatever program you're looking for. Ask, and they should have some form of it. If not, they will put you in contact with the resource that has it.
Okay, guys, so I want to mention the Fathers Who Care MySpace drop-in center that they have going on. It is for ages 13 to 24, and it is from Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. and it ends at 6 p.m. It is basically a safe space for young people to come in, and they can have different activities like life skill workshops, homework assistance, games. They have snacks, and you will also be able to go on field trips. And if there is any time where you feel like you want to go on a specific field trip, they can make that happen for you as long as you bring it to their attention. This is at 4540 West Washington Boulevard. And if you want any more information on this, you can call them at 773-287-5821 or go to www.fatherswhocare.org. So, Officer Martinez, is there any closing and encouraging remarks that you want to give to our viewers today?
Just come out and be involved. Just like you just said, like those are amazing programs that I think our youth tend not to know of. So and that's another thing is, how can we bridge the gap of getting the information out? Because there's a lot of resources and a lot of amazing programs that create insightful events for our kids, our youth in the city. And sometimes if I create an event that I feel a youth may like, I want your opinion. Tell me, no, I didn't like that. I want this. Be involved. Let us know so we can make it happen. Because there's too many people and too many resources in all these districts that we want to help and get you in something that you're encouraged to be.
Exactly. And I feel like a lot of kids, like not kids, but like the youth don't know about this because of the limits that they have around them. And like, even when it's like inside of their schools, inside of their homes, they're not introduced to like people being out there that's willing to help them or that wants the best for them. So it's like they don't go looking for something because they don't know about it at all. So it's like, how would I know to go and do something that I never even thought about? I don't know if the police officer that the police want to help me and stuff like that. And it's like some people, they don't have phones, they can't go on social media, and it's like if they don't see things going around in their community and they're blind to it, it's like they will miss out on those opportunities, unfortunately. So I feel like that is important for us, as the youth as well, to go out to these communities who we feel like are being forgotten, or they aren't as active in the community, or don't have as many youth. Or say like, oh, in this area we don't have as many youth in our 15 district programs. We can go there and tell them about them so that they know that these resources are available, because we want the youth to be great, because we're going to be the future leaders along with them. So we want to help them as well. So if you are just tuning in, our guest tonight on the show is Officer William Martinez, and we were discussing bridging the intergenerational gap between young people and law enforcement. We would love to thank our viewers for watching. For additional information about our Youth Council, please contact us at 773-287-5821. Again, that number is 773-287-5821, and ask for Miss Princess. Thank you, and tune in next week, same time, same station.
Thank you.